Mondays, the dreaded first working day of the week, has been haunting mankind for decades. And this is a story of how a 16-year-old girl turned a boring Monday morning into a global headline. And she didn't have a better excuse than I just don't feel like going to school. It was January 29th, 1979, exactly about 47 years ago. And the place? San Diego in California. The star of this tragedy was Brenda, a skinny teenager who lived in a house filled with plenty alcohol bottles and a collection of firearms. And her father, in a move that would win him the world record for the worst gift giver of the year award, gave her a semi-automatic rifle with a telescopic sight for Christmas. Because clearly, what every troubled teenager needs is a weapon designed for precision killing. And here's the thing, Brenda didn't go out looking for a fight. She didn't go to the mall or a park. She just looked out the window of her living room. Right across the street was Grover Elementary School. And this is where it gets interesting. As the kids were waiting for the principal to open the gate, Brenda took her rifle, aimed through the scope, and started popping shots. At first, the kids thought it was firecrackers. They thought someone was playing a prank. But then the principal, Mr. Burton, and a custodian, Mike, fell. They died trying to protect the children. 8 children and a police officer were hit. Think about that for a second. You're a 6-year-old waiting to go learn your ABCs, and someone is treating you like a target in a carnival game from across the street. Well, the police got involved, they surrounded Brenda's house, and a reporter actually managed to get Brenda on the phone. They asked her one question everyone wanted to know. Why? Why did you shoot at a bunch of kids who didn't even know your name? And her response was, I don't like Mondays. And this livens up the day. Crazy. I mean, crazy. Talk about a lack of perspective. Well, most of us just drink an extra cup of coffee or an extra cup of tea or complain on Twitter when we eat Mondays. But Brenda decided to start a war. She even told the reporter that it was a lot of fun watching the children get shot. But then the irony kicked in, as senseless violence didn't just ruin lives, it became a pop culture phenomenon. The band Boomtown Rats wrote a hit song and titled it I Don't Like Mondays, based on her quotes. She said she wanted to liven up the day, and instead she became a permanent footnote in the history of school shootings, the first one of the modern era. Well, Brenda thought this was being edgy and rebellious. Instead, she spent the last 4.5 decades in a prison cell, still being denied parole because, shockingly, 18 Mondays isn't a valid legal defense for murder. Think about that for a second. We live in a world where vibes and moods are used to justify anything and everything. But Brenda proves that when you stop seeing people as humans and start seeing them as entertainment, you don't become a hero. You just become a monster in a grainy photograph. So here's my thoughts. We all have days we hate, we all have mornings where we'd rather stay in bed. But the difference between a person and a predator or an insane person is how you handle the boring parts of life. Brenda tried to make a mark on the world with a bullet, but all she did was to erase her own future.